Okay, good morning, guys. How are you? Fine? Okay. Now open your book, page 66, 66. And today we are talking about the Canterbury Tales, the plot, the characters, the structure. So first of all, we are highlighting together on the book. So you have a place where to study, and then I'm showing you the slides. So you can also use the slides to have a general guide to repeat and to understand Canterbury Tales as well as Chaucer. Okay? So let's start. Let's see the plot. Okay, let's see the plot. Okay, yesterday we talked about the life of Chaucer, and we also said that the Canterbury Tales is one of the most important works he wrote, or better, it is considered his masterpiece. Okay, masterpiece means opera d'arte, opera maggiore. Okay, when is the story set? If you remember, I always tell you that when you start talking about a story, about a plot, a novel, you have first of all give an idea of the setting. Okay, what is the setting? Where the story takes place and when the story takes place. In the Canterbury Tales, it is exactly possible. In fact, you read, the Canterbury Tales is set in spring, okay, and tells the story of 30 people, okay, men, women, monks, and other members of the clergy, artisans, merchants, and also the narrator, okay. So you have for the first time, okay, the narrator included in the story. Okay, this was a great innovation for the time. Okay, and they are going on a pilgrimage. Okay, so to talk about a pilgrimage, to say andare in pellegrinaggio, we say go on a pilgrimage. They are traveling to Canterbury, okay, in Kent, to the shrine, okay, of Thomas Becket, to the shrine of Thomas Becket. Shrine means reliquiario, okay, where they save the remains of the saint. Okay, and Thomas Becket, if you remember, is the priest who opposed Henry II and was killed by the knights. They meet at the Tabard Inn in London. Okay, so before going on pilgrimage, these 30 people, okay, meet at the Tabard Inn in London. Okay, so it is an exact people, it is a period, it is set in spring. There are the exact members of the group, men, women, monks, etc., etc., including the narrator. And we know that they are going to the shrine of Thomas Becket, and we know that they meet at the Tabard Inn in London. Okay, so we know exactly where the story starts. The host of the inn suggests that every pilgrim, okay, should tell 2 stories while going to Canterbury and 2 coming back. Okay. It says that there will be a prize for the best story and a penalty for anyone who gives up. Okay. What does the host? The host is l'oste, ok? Quindi the man who ruled the Tabard Inn, ok? Ruled, controllava, run the Tabard Inn, ok? Quindi l'oste of the inn suggests that every pilgrim, so before they leave the inn, the host suggests to the pilgrim to tell 2 stories each while going to Canterbury, and 2 stories while coming back from Canterbury. Okay, so they are 30 people. They have to tell 2 stories going and 2 stories coming, 4 stories each, okay, so they should have told 30 per 4 is 120 stories, ok? Quindi, siccome sono 30 pellegrini e dovrebbero dire 2 storie ciascuno andando e 2 storie ciascuno tornando, in realtà questo Canterbury Tales avrebbe dovuto contenere 120 storie, ok? Okay, now let's see the structure and the style. Okay, before going to the other part, we don't have actually 120 stories in Canterbury Tales, just because Chaucer died before finishing to write his book. Okay, so we nowadays have few stories included in the Canterbury Tales, even if they should have been 120. Avrebbero dovuto essere 120, ma in realtà ne abbiamo solamente molte di meno. Ok. Structure and style. Ok. In questa prima parte sappiamo quindi where the story is set, ok? Dove è ambientata la storia, so we know that we are in England, we are going from, the people are traveling from London to Canterbury, okay? They are meeting at the Tabard Inn in London, okay? And they are going on pilgrimage to Thomas Becket Shrine, okay? And which is the period? It is spring, okay? Let's see structure and style. Canterbury Tales is a long narrative poem. Okay, this is very important to remember. Okay, it is a narrative, a long narrative poem. It is not a novel, it is not a poem. Okay, it is a long narrative poem. Okay. Chaucer used rhyming couplets, ok? You remember rhyming couplets, coppie, le rime baciate, ok? Quindi A, B, C, ok? Made up of, listen, iambic pentameters, iambic pentameters, okay? These you have to remember, okay? Rhyming couplets, iambic pentameters, sarebbe pentametro giambico, ok? In italiano, iambic pentameters. It means 10 syllables line, okay? Alternating unstressed and stressed syllables, ok? Non vi chiedo di riconoscerlo, ma di ricordare di che cosa si tratta e come si chiama. Quindi, the Canterbury Tales is made up of rhyming couplets, ok? Iambic pentameters. What is the iambic pentameters? It is a pentameter made of 10 syllable lines, alternating unstressed and stressed syllables, quindi vuol dire che le 10 sillabe in ogni rigo si alternano non accentato accentato, per forza con quest'ordine, quindi iniziano tutte con non accentato, ok? Quindi ogni rigo della Canterbury Tales è formato da 10 sillabe che fanno rima baciata, quindi in coppia, e ogni linea ha come accenti, inizia con non accentato e alterna non accentato accentato, prima coppia, non accentato accentato, seconda coppia, non accentato accentato, non accentato accentato, non accentato accentato, quindi 10 sillabe, ok? Ovviamente 10 sillabe vi dico perché sono non accentato accentato, quindi sono 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ok. How is the structure of the work, the Canterbury Tales? There is a general prologue, okay, where the pilgrims are introduced, okay, and 24 tales. Okay, just 24 tales instead of 120. The tales are usually preceded by a prologue, which introduces the theme of the tale, and are sometimes followed by an epilogue. Quindi c'è un prologo generale all'inizio dell'opera, ok? Poi dove vengono introdotti tutti i pellegrini, poi 24 storie, ogni storia, ogni racconto ha è di solito preceduta da un prologo e da un epilogo. They are narrated, the 24 stories are narrated by the different pilgrims, but the reporting pilgrim is Chaucer himself. So the narrator, okay, of the whole story is Chaucer himself, okay? He tells us directly or sometimes ironically what he sees. So he tells us what he sees and what he thinks about it. Okay, so the tales are often have realistic elements, okay, but in almost every case they have a strong ideal and moralizing base, okay? So there's always a moral in these stories, in these short stories, they say. Okay, so what do I have to remember about the structure? The definition: it is a long narrative poem. He used the rhyming couplets divided in iambic pentameters, meaning 10 syllables line, unstressed and stressed syllable. Okay, there is a general prologue at the beginning of the book, okay, and then there are 24 tales. Each tale is told by a different pilgrim and has a prologue and an epilogue. The narrator is Chaucer himself, okay, and there are, of course, some realistic elements, but there is also a moralizing base, a moralistic view of the situation, okay? So there is a moral in all the stories. Setting, okay? Setting means diciamo il luogo dove viene impostata, dove viene come dire, dove avviene la storia. Okay, there is okay, the point of departure, London, is very human, and linked to worldly pleasures, while the destination, Canterbury, is holy. Ok? Quindi abbiamo due punti. La partenza rappresenta un po' la città mondana, ok? Linked to sin, ok? Legata al peccato, ok? Worldly pleasures, alle piaceri terreni, while the destination, Canterbury, is considered a holy place, ok? Quindi simbolicamente abbiamo Londra come luogo terreno, Canterbury come luogo celestiale, vedete, holy. It is quite the symbol of our journey from our worldly life to our eternal life, ok? Ovviamente simbolicamente, quindi è un po' un'allusione, vedete, simboli, significati allegorici. Canterbury is the symbol of the celestial city, okay, the end of life. The journey of the pilgrims becomes an allegory of the course of human life, okay? So the journey they have to do is quite similar to our life, okay, to the journey of life. The work remained unfinished, okay, and Canterbury is not reached by the pilgrims, okay. Chaucer planned to continue the tales with another cycle which would follow the return to London, the terrestrial city, after the visit to Canterbury. The pilgrims would have returned from meditation and presumably illumination towards reality, ok? Ma in realtà non lo ha finito, quindi noi abbiamo semplicemente diciamo l'idea di quello che lui voleva fare. Ok, now let's see the characters. Ok, Chaucer wanted to give a portrait of English society, okay, including representatives of feudal society, okay, feudal society, members of clergy, okay, and middle classes, okay. So you see that the portrait of English society is reduced to the feudal society, clergy, and middle classes, ok? Quindi chi è che manca? Ok, he did not portray the aristocracy, ok, or peasants. This is important to say, okay, because he did not portray neither the higher level of society nor the lowest, okay. This is because no nobleman would have traveled with commoners, okay? No nobleman would have traveled with commoners, but and lower class people could not afford the expense of such a trip, ok? Quindi la ragione è che non se lo potevano permettere i poveri e i ricchi non avrebbero, i nobili non avrebbero mai viaggiato con classe media, middle class, quindi mercanti, anche diciamo proprietari di negozi o che vi devo dire, calzolai, quindi la media società, ok? Or feudal society. In the general prologue, Chaucer did not follow the social hierarchy of presentation of the time and mixed the female and male characters to underline the new importance that women were assuming within the growing middle classes. Okay, so the presentation, okay, of the characters. Se vi ricordate, abbiamo detto che la presentazione dei personaggi avviene nel prologo, ok? Nel prologo, vi ricordate, allora andiamolo a vedere, vedete qui in dov'era? Eccolo qui. The work consists of a general prologue where the pilgrims are introduced. Ecco, in questa introduction of the pilgrims, the presentation mixed female and male characters to underline the new importance that women were assuming within the growing middle classes, ok? Quindi anziché fare come di solito si fa nella presentazione, no? Quando si presenta qualcosa o qualcuno, si segue una certa importanza, quindi si inizia con chi è più importante e si prosegue con chi mano a mano lo è di meno. In questa, okay, in this book, we don't find, in this prologue, we don't find an order in the presentation, but he mixed female and male characters because he wanted to underline that women were becoming more and more important within the middle classes, okay? The new factor in the Canterbury Tales is individualization. Okay, this is a new term and you have to remember. Okay, the character exists because he or she has reaction and is in movement. Okay. In antithesis with the conventional medieval character portrait, which was generally rather static. Okay, so he doesn't describe his character as motionless, okay, static characters, but they are described in movement. Okay, so character exists because he or she has reactions and is in movement, okay? This is a new an innovation, okay? Because before Chaucer and in general in this period, the description of characters was based on a static presentation, okay? Not on a dynamic one, okay? The descriptions of the pilgrims vary in length, point of view and tone, so we don't have all the same descriptions, okay? Some emphasize what the pilgrim wears, some what he or she does or thinks, okay? This is what does it mean? That he gave or he used to describe his pilgrims, he used different characteristics according to what he wanted to show about the person, okay? So if he wanted to demonstrate that he was rich, that he was frivolous, for example, he described the clothes, okay, in a more detailed way. If he wanted to emphasize the character, he described his actions, okay? So the descriptions are varied, okay? In length, okay, in lunghezza, in the point of view and in a tone. The names given to the pilgrims, refer to their profession and suggest a society in which work conditioned the personality and worldview of each individual, okay? So he also gave names according to the different works, the different jobs they had, okay? Just to show, to underline the importance of work, of the job in this period, okay, to the profession. Okay, so lastly, what are the themes? The main themes are the journey, of course, okay, which is also the symbol of life, okay, of the journey of life. And the pilgrim is set in the calendar of seasons as well as in that of religion. In the opening lines, springtime is defined in terms of rebirth, quindi it is set in spring, okay, in springtime, okay, and the spring is associated to the idea of rebirth, ok? Quindi il viaggio viene visto come viaggio della vita e il periodo in cui è ambientato è la primavera, come rinascita. Quindi l'uomo in pratica che rinasce alla salvezza, ok? Attraverso questo pellegrinaggio. The horizon then extends to a spiritual journey, so it is a spiritual journey to the English shrine of Thomas Becket and Canterbury. Okay, that's right. Okay, that's all. Okay, the main theme is the journey with many different meanings. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Okay, now I quickly show you the slides, okay? Then I also upload the slides as a new material, so you can have the video and the slides in another file, okay? So this is Geoffrey Chaucer, this is the picture, interesting, okay? Yesterday we talked about the life, here are the most important details. The year he was born is quite important, okay? Even if, okay, let me see something because yes, okay, son of a wine merchant, okay, excellent education, okay, he was, he worked with 3 kings, okay, and John Gaunt, 2 kings, okay. He was a very clever, practical skills, okay, inventiveness as a writer. He worked as a controller of the customs for the port of London. He went on a diplomatic missions and he died. Okay, that's all. You don't have to remember so much about his life. You just have to remember. We can say his birth, okay, is the date of his birth, because it is important to set in a specific moment of English literature, and just he was educated, he was in contact with the nobility of England, and he was also very skilled observer, okay. Also because in his observations, okay, his curiosity gave him the possibility to describe and to notice the different behaviors of people. Then you have to why the father of English literature, okay. And we talked about that yesterday. Chaucer and the 3 periods, this is not really important. Just remember that in the English period, which is the final one, he wrote the Canterbury Tales. Okay, so after the influence of French and Italian literature. The Canterbury Tales, narrative poem in verse, okay, moral views, individual characters, okay, important things, a general prologue where the pilgrims are introduced, and 24 tales, okay. Each tale has a prologue and an epilogue, normally, not always. The story, this is a very quick summary of the story. 30 people, okay, including the narrator, and they meet and they want to go to Canterbury Cathedral. Okay, they decide to tell stories while going there and while coming. Okay. And the setting, the point of departure is London. They leave from London, okay, which is linked to worldly pleasures, and they go to Canterbury, which is the symbol of celestial city. The pilgrimage, why a pilgrimage to Canterbury? So remember Thomas Becket, okay, who was Thomas Becket and why he became a martyr, okay. And the style, rhyming couplets, important, A, B, B, okay, made up of iambic pentameters. Remember iambic, okay. No jambic, no iambic, no iambic pentameters. So lines with 10 syllables. 5 feet. 5 feet sarebbe un piede, ok? È formato in inglese da una sillaba accentata e una non accentata, è un piede, oppure una non accentata e una accentata, sempre un piede, ok? Quindi si chiama piede, ma sono due. Ok, infatti 10 sillabe riunite a 2 sono 5 piedi praticamente. Ok, and then the language, of course, English, okay, replaced the French, okay, and replaced the French as the language of education, okay. English was becoming the language of government, and there was a growing demand for literary works in English, and from this point of view, he was the first to use the traditional English speech to write the Canterbury Tales. Characterization, because there is a portrait of English society of the time, okay. It didn't follow the social hierarchy of presentation of the time, okay. It mixed the female and male, okay. There's a dynamic individualization because the characters are presented in their actions, okay. There's a description of clothes, tools, strumenti, personal qualities, personality for the first time, okay. And also the names refer to the professions, to the jobs. The themes are the journey and the pilgrimage, okay. And that's all, okay. I hope everything was clear, okay. So if you need any extra help, okay, ask me, okay, send me a message or write me. We can also decide to meet in the before Easter, so to check if everything is okay with literature, okay. And that's all. Thank you.